A little background. Don't have the names of right now, but it's Fera Knights versus the Kdogs, and right now Orange is gonna win the kickoff. Tries to go up for a follow-up, but oh no, there's a little bit of panic in front of the net, but Fera Knight's there to take it and save it. Puts it in the corner of Orange. Pops it over one defender. Midnight's there, but he can't seem to get a touch, and Joe puts it in the corner. So now uh, Dev Norbit's going to have some time, puts it away, and now Billy's going to take a shot on net. Nobody's back, and Billy, too silly,
Whoa!
puts it right in the back of the net. That's a good observation right there as Midnight was getting a little bit too late back there. He just couldn't get back quite on time. So what do you see so far, Steve?
I'm seeing a lot of stuff for this, to be honest. So they got to really got to figure it out about how to win it, okay? Because if you want to come out strong, okay, you got to really play your hardest. And from the latest match that I was casting with him, it was I forget what it was, and there was a lot of good teams. And by the way, now they go by the orange team. Good job.
Yes, Billy Too Silly is going to get a perfect setup right there by Dev Norbit. Realizes Joe's a little bit feeling a little awkward, so he sets his teammate up perfect right there. And a second kickoff underway. Orange is going to win the kickoff. It's up the sidewall. He has some time on it. He's going to get a touch. Tries to get the follow-up, but Joe is there and denies it. And now Dev Norbit's going to take it off the sidewall. He's going to get a little bit time here. Puts it on his hood. Tries to get around one defender, but Fahrenheit's there for the pinch. And now it's going to be back to K-Mac. Going to give his teammates a little bit of time, and now they have possession. So Billy Too Silly is going to take a touch around one defender. Gets another touch, pops it up on the backboard. Dev Norbit's up. Doesn't get the touch, but saves it for KS Mac. And now Fahrenheit's going to have a bunch of time on the ball right now. He's getting bullied right now by KS Mac. Keeps it safety in the corner. That was a good play by K-Mac. He just knew he had to buy his teammates time, so he's just following up, trying to get the demo.
Oh, it is. And as so, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Okay, as what you all see from these two wonderful teams right now. Okay, they're playing the hardest, but unfortunately, only one team can come out a winner. The other team will not be a winner on this one, and it looks like that the K Dogs. Okay, that's up two to nothing. Okay, that they are winning right now because it's more logic for them to come out strong than just playing offensive mode the whole time. Because sometimes you got to play offensive mode and defensive mode to try to win it. And a lot of times you do have to block the net because if you do not block the net, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to get a goal, and you all have to come out. What are we doing wrong here to win this? And
Yes.
that's what the blue team needs to go.
Yes, what a great goal by Fahrenheit. Notices that Dev Norbit's a little awkward on the back wall. Can't seem to get there. Puts it in, and K-Mac almost has a pretty nice save, but he just couldn't quite get the touch he wanted. But yes, you're right. They have to start getting on offense a little bit more. Team Orange, they have about 5 shots on net. With Blue, it's only 2. So that's a
Oh, another
kickoff goal.
goal.
Kickoff goal just happens.
Wow.
Um, Dev Norbit just seems to get there a little bit earlier than the other defender and pops it right over him just in time. What a great observation right there. That good decision to keep it under the ball and chipped it right over him. And now,
Absolutely.
definitely, Fahrenheit, he's gonna put some pressure right here in the corner as Midnight Sky's gonna get one more touch. Joe's gonna have one more. And they're not panicking. Team Orange is playing decent right now. They're keeping their composure in the corner. Nobody's really flailing away. Trying to keep the ball near them. As one teammate comes up for it, the next is going to be right there as Blues just keep putting it back right in the corner. So now they got some pressure and they got time on the ball. Let's see what Dev Norbert could do. He's going to get 50. K-Mac's going to try to get a follow-up, and now Joe's going to take a little bit of time pinch it off Fahrenheit. They beat one defender on the blue side. The ball is above the goal right now. No one seems to follow up on that touch. But now Billy Too Silly is going to take it off the side. Joe's there for the ball. He has perfect amount of time right now. See what he's going to do. He gets met at the sidewall by an orange defender. Now it's going to be dangerous, and what a save by Midnight. He has to get another one, and he does. How many shots does Team Orange have to put on the net? Midnight is just there. He's a brick wall. What are you seeing right now, Steve?
Yeah, you are right. Because he is a brick wall right now, and it's just really good where the Kdogs are coming in from. Okay, because from what I'm somewhat looking at, okay, they are a elite team. Okay, because a elite team really comes out now and win this, and that's what they're doing. You got to win it to the way you can, and that's what you got to do.
Definitely. As we get 30 more seconds into this first match, Team Blue, Fahrenheit's, they're going to have to try to figure out what they're going to do in the next 20 seconds and try to get these next two goals as Midnight's going to miss that touch. Fahrenheit's going to put it back in the corner of his teammate. Joe is there, but Billy Too Silly's right there to put it back in their corner. It's a little dangerous right now. They get it away, but I think this one's going to be over as Team Orange is going to take the first win when the time clock goes down to 1, and here it is. Game 1 goes to Team Orange. What a spectacular performance by them. They dominated almost the whole game.
Winning now. Okay, forget the score, forget who won the first match. What you need to do, okay, in this game, excuse me, is try to win. So, if they can try to win now, they'll be just fine.
Definitely. As the ball is open right now, Billy Too Silly saves that one. It's a dangerous ball in front of their goal. K-Mac has some time on the ball. He's going to get around to 1, but Fahrenheit's there for the 50. He's trying to go for a follow-up, but doesn't seem to hit it, but leaves it for Midnight. And Billy Too Silly just can't get back in time. I don't know if he didn't have any boost and was starved, but what a leave for that. He went up and faked the defender as Midnight is there for the put into the back of the net. What a great job, great teamwork. So we are seeing some good offensive plays by them now. Maybe they had a good comm right there where he's telling him he's going to leave it for his teammate in the back. What do you think about that one, Steve?
Maybe they did had a talk, or maybe they are just saying now, okay, to the team that say, listen, okay, we cannot lose the next match. We can't, or else we could be out of it. And if we do not want to be out of it, then we need to start winning now, okay? Because start acting like a team and win this thing. Trust me,
Definitely.
it will definitely help if you can win it.
Fahrenheit has some time on the ball. He's going to buy a little time for his defender to get back. Trying to get some boost. Billy Too Silly's going to go up for a touch. Gets the fake around one defender and puts that one in with ease. It was a great pass by Dev Norbit. Saw his teammate upfield. And I think Midnight just had a little bit of a whiff on that one. Couldn't get the read. It's a little awkward for him. But, you know, Team Blues, they're looking really good right now. K-Dogs are coming out strong as well. As right now, the ball is going to get hit to their back corner. Billy Too Silly's going to have some time with it. Puts it, he's taking this ball for a ride, but gets bumped by Fahrenheit. He's there for the stop. Now it's in their corner. It's dangerous. Only one teammate back. Puts it mid for his teammate, and KS Mac is there. K-Dogs will now be up 2-1. What a great defensive play, but then it led to a awful counterattack not in their favor. Kdog is now gonna be up 2-1.
So that's what you were saying that they're up 2-1. Okay, and that's good. That's still good for the K Dogs. Okay, but Field needs to try to figure it out now. Okay, how not to lose this, but try to win it. Okay, actually strike that. Try to tie the game up. Because if you tie it up, you'll be just fine. But if you just want to play defense the whole entire time, that will not work 100%. It just won't, okay? Because lots of you all have to be playing offense. If you play offenses in this, you we'll be just fine. If you do not want to play offense, then what's the point about just playing defense the whole time? Will defense work for you? No. Stop playing offense.
Definitely, absolutely great worded. Now the ball's going to be hit mid. Fahrenheit's going to be there for the touch and leaves it for Joe. He's pushing it to their corner. It's a little dangerous right now as Dev Norbit missed the ball, but Billy Too Silly is going to have a bunch of time with it. See what he can do. Gets it around one defender, pinches out to K-Mac. He's going to be there, gets blocked by Fahrenheit, and now Dev Norbit has it right on his hood. He's going to try to get it past one, but he gets the pinch with Joe, and now it's back in his clutches. He has some room. Has a teammate on his right. Fahrenheit's there and puts that one to safety as it was a very dangerous pass to the defender. And now it's up on the back wall. Fahrenheit's going to try to drop this one down to his teammate, and it's almost in, but the fourth man, the actually post, saved that one. Just a little off on the placement on that one as it's still in front of their net. Billy Too Silly is going to have to clear this one and give time to his teammates as he gets a great 50 right now. So it's back in his possession. Gets around Fahrenheit, tries to get past one more defender, but Midnight Sky is going to be there. And now Joe's going to get it right past one. K-Mac has the ball now, going to have a transition from defense to offense. Gets past one, puts it in the corner to himself. Let's see if he can get the follow-up. But Midnight Sky is there, and he's just absolutely putting on a clinic with these saves today.
Oh, yes, he is. And you're putting up... Go! That's 3-1 Kdog. Like, Kdog just really wants to win this thing, and they are doing everything correct right now to definitely win this game.
Yes, indeed. They're definitely showing us that they have the more dominant performance on offense. Like you said, you need more offense, but defense does help win the games as well. Billy Too Silly is now putting this one in the Blues corner. Joe's going to have some time with this. He's going to take this ball for a ride. And now it's in the air for Norbit. He's going to be there, but Midnight Sky clears this one out as they're trying to get out of this defensive area in their corner. So Midnight Sky is going to try to get a 50 around one defender. Norbit's there, but Billy Too Silly is going to beat one. And now there's nobody in the orange goal, but he gets it around one to the corner, and K-Mac's going to save it. Gets around one defender. Now K-Mac's going to have the ball. Has no boost right now, but he just tries to keep it pushing forward. He wants to keep this pressure on Blue as they're struggling and down 2 goals, and it's the best option right now. And now it's going to be up the sidewall. Billy Too Silly has some time with it, and it looks like Kdog is going to take this second game as we roll past the ending seconds.
Kdog has won 3-1.
Yes, they definitely showed a great performance as first kickoff we're going to get underway right now. We have Team Flu Esports on the blue side, and Team Lokei's on orange. First kickoff underway, and Blue's going to win. Team Lokei going to get a clear off the wall to nobody right now, but Finest is going to take this one off the sidewall, bounce it to himself, probably get a follow-up, but Lokei is there as Flu Wind is going to get a nice touch, but Lokes is going to be there. Finest up on the back wall to himself. Tries to get another follow-up touch, but just seems to miss it off the side. Morbid's going to try to get it clear. Now to Lokei. He's got a good touch towards their net. Gets the follow-up, but Finest is there for the save. Now Lee Cause. He's going to get a touch, but now the defenders have it now in their corner. Tries to pop this one up. Wind is going to be there to put it right back on their backboard. And now Finest puts it in.
Whoa!
Nice goal by Finest as his teammate Wind puts this on the backboard for a clear pass. No one's there to save it, but Finest is there for the read. Absolutely well done by Flu Esports. Why? What do you see so far, Steve?
I'm seeing a lot of stuff, to be honest, because Flu White, okay, that's the team name, okay, is really coming out tonight to win this. If Lasky, okay, can try to make a comeback in this, that would be great. But it all depends if they know how to come back in this, okay? Lots of these teams do, but some of them don't. Let's see if they can make... Oh! Well, folks, that is 2-0 now by Flu White. Wow. Go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, absolutely great find by Finest as he sees nobody in the back net. So he's going to just walk that one right in. And now we're going to go on to our next kickoff. Finest is going to win this for Flu Esports, but Morbid's there to clear this one off to the side. Lika is going to take this one off the sidewall, tries to get a follow-up, but just decides to leave it for a teammate. He has a plenty ton of boosts. He's going to take this one up for a follow-up, but King K's Cookie's there. As he goes to take this ball for a ride, Wynn's going to put this one to the side, tries to get the redirect, but it just is quiet. It doesn't have the right touch. But 3Lika is going to take this one into the net, but Wynn just gets back in time. What a great save. And now he has a bunch of time with the ball. Tries to get it around one defender. He does. Tries to get it around the second, but he does not get met right there. Lokei's going to go up off the sidewall, maybe get a follow-up touch for his teammate. Put this one into the net, and King Gaze Cookie just can't seem to recover. What a great shot by Lokei off to the sidewall to himself. Gets back, recovers in time, puts a quick one on to sneak one in.
Oh, absolutely. See, you're the one that's sneaking that in. Okay. And if you sneak that in, that's great. That is. But let me tell you all something for a second, okay? If you're sneaking that in, this is one of the most epic comebacks in history. It can be because because these comebacks are very great. But the only thing in this comeback, you need to start getting another goal. If you get another goal, that would be your second comeback in this game. But where they make this second comeback to win it, to tie in a minute. Sorry about that. We will see, folks. Go ahead.
Will they come back? Indeed. As Wynn, he's going to block the attacker right there. Now they have some time on the ball with Lokei popping this up, but I think a little miscommunication between their teammates as King Gaze Cookie tries to put this one in, but the defender does not get back in time. He has one great save, but Finest is there to put this one back in as Team Flu Esports Y is going to go ahead and take the 2-goal lead. And Team Loki's going to have to try to figure out what to do right now to counterattack this offense by Flu Esports Y. They're dominating right now as they have the ball in their corner. They get a good 50 right now, and Lee Cause is going to take this one back to his teammate, but Finest is going to be there for the counterattack, and I think he had not a really great touch back to his teammate. Just a quiet mistouch right there as he pops it up in the danger zone, and Finest is going to read that and puts this one in on the top, right under the crossbar. Morbid just can't seem to find the look he was looking for with an awkward fill right there, as now they take the lead 4-1.
Yeah, it's 4-1 now, folks. Okay, and since it's 4-1, what will exactly happen to this? Okay, can it come good? Can it not? But we'll see, to be honest. But the only thing what I'm seeing, okay, is one team coming out strong, the other team is not coming out strong. But there's a lot of reasons why they're not coming out that strong right now, because they got to figure out another goal by hold on for a second, folks, by Flu White.
Yes,
But
they're figuring it out right now as Wynn has a great demo, and puts this one in as nobody's there to get back, and he puts this one in, walks it straight in with no one there. Finest is going to win this kickoff, tries to get around one defender, he misses, but Wynn's going to be there for the 50, and now the ball's up, but King Gaze Cookie's there to put this one back towards Team Lokei, but Lokei's going to have this little miscommunication right there. They get a bump, but Lee Cause has the ball, gets a great 50 right now. Finest is going to take control. Let's see what he can do with the ball. Gets another 50. Morbid's there, and Morbid tries to get a follow, but unfortunately doesn't get the touch. Wynn's going to have ball right now. He has possession, taking this one for a ride, but Loki's going to be there to meet him, and now he gets a demo as Morbid's going to try to push this ball up, gets a touch, and teammate gets the 50. Morbid, again, just doesn't seem to get the touch, and now Loki's going to go up off the sidewall. They need to make something happen quick. There's only 30 seconds left, but I think Team Flu Esports is going to be the one to take this game.
oh, absolutely, they are taking that game, okay, to their way, and if you can come out and win both both of these games, you'll be just fine. I know they will, but we will definitely see if they can definitely come out in a minute.
Yes,
So,
perhaps a little bit too late right now, but maybe they can take some of this momentum as they score these next couple goals into the next game, and that might be just the thing they need to keep their spirits up as they go into game 2. But for game 1, it looks like it's going to be in the back for Flu Esports White as the clock ticks, and it's going to be almost end of game 1. And what are your thoughts, Steve, on what do you think Team Loki should do this next game so they can figure out what they need to do to win?
come out strong. Now, you do not want to be in the loser bracket. Trust me, I know everything about that, okay? Because you just have to come out now and try to win this. And if you can win it, and you'll be just fine.
Yes, as now as King Gaze Cookie's going to put one on the net with Morbid. Had a little bit of a awkward feeling right there in their back net. King Gaze Cookie just has a great power shot right over there. Gets it top above Morbid. Just feeling a little awkward, just couldn't quite get to that one. And now here we go for the second kickoff of game number 2. It's win or go to the loser semis, and now Morbid's going to have some time with the ball. He's going to try to get around first, man, but King Gaze Cookie's there, gets the demo, gets around 1. Loki's going to send this one to the blue side. Flu Sports finest. He's going to have the ball, gets one touch over the defender, tries to get a follow-up, fakes it out, but gets one on the corner to his teammate, and Wind is going to be there to put that one in.
Oh, another goal, folks. Wow.
A great passing play and performance by Team
Absolutely.
Flu Y Esports.
Absolutely, that's great.
Yes. Wind just right there waiting for the attack. And now we're into this third kickoff as Team Flu Esports White is going to win that one. And now Wind tries to get a touch to his teammate. Finest is going to get met right there by Loki. And he's going to take this ball for a pinch off the sidewall. Gets one more touch. Almost tries to get around one defender. But Lee Cause is there with the touch towards the net off the backboard. But Finest is going to clear that one to his corner. And now King Gaze Cookie is going to have some time. Gets it over one defender. This is dangerous. Finest is there. Puts it into the net
goal.
as nobody is back. And I think they just had a little miscommunication on triple commit, but Finest is going to have a fine day when he sees nobody in the back of the net right there. What are you seeing so far, Steve?
I'm seeing a lot, okay? And you're coming out strong right now, okay? But the thing is, okay, the orange team, okay, need to start working together now, or else you're going to be in the loser bracket. And trust me, folks, I know you don't want to be in that. I know you don't. That's another score, folks. But will it help this? Will it? I don't know. Okay, but they got to start using their heads now before this game is over. Take it away, bud.
Absolutely, absolutely. They need to start working with each other as Team Flu Y Esports just worked with each other right there and got a great passing play and gets a very fortunate pinch off the defender. King Gaze Cookie is going to have the tactical instinct play right here and gets a nice counter pinch off of Loki to put that one in their net, and they'd go up 5-0. This is a great performance on offense by Team Flu Esports Y. They're showing out for their first game. And now Finest is going to take this one off to his corner, keep it safe as his teammates get behind him. And he tries to catch this one, but unfortunately doesn't get the touch. But it goes back to his teammate in 3 logs. He's going to get one right off the, the Team Flu Wide Esports. And now Finest is going to try to take another counter touch, does get it. And Likaz has the ball, gets a flick, tries to keep this one to the side. He's going to get boost. And now Loki trying to defend this ball, but King Ace has a flip reset, almost gets it past both of the defenders. And now Finest is going to take this one in. No teammate there for the pass, but he does keep it dangerous as 3 defenders are right there on the ball, and Loki's going to take some time with it. Gets it around 1 defender, but unfortunately he doesn't have anybody there to follow up.
No, he does not. And you got to follow up great, okay, but you're not doing anything correct to follow that up. You're just not. I'm sorry, okay. And you got to start winning it now, okay, because if you don't, then that's on you, not us, okay, because you you got to try something to win this. Trust me. Anything helps. Go ahead, take it away.
Yes, as Finest seems to get a follow-up touch himself, gets the bounce off the sidewall, and nobody in the net, so he puts that one right in. This game is getting a little out of hand as it's 6-1 right now. As Team Flu Esports White will take the lead 6-0. They're getting the win on the kickoff, and they're gonna try to get another goal as Lekos gets a decent pinch out mid. His teammate is there, Lokei's there, tries to get it off the backboard, and now Morbid's gonna take a touch. King Gase now has time on the ball, puts it into the corner, tries to bump, gets the bump, and Wind is gonna be there to put that one in. What an outstanding performance and tactical mind games from King Gase Cookie as he puts that one in and leaves it for his teammate. What a great counterattack and great teamwork right there.
That is great teamwork. It is. And Flu White is just really coming out so strong right now and winning this. And it's a good thing that they are winning it. But the other thing, what I have to say is Lasky has to start doing something. Okay. Because if they lose this now, okay, then they will head to the loser bracket. And I know you do not want to head to the loser bracket. And only 1 minute left. 1 minute left. But can they really make a epic comeback? Can they?
Yes, can they? We will see. It is 1 minute, and we have heard of amazing stories like that before. So can Team Lokei come back on this as Win takes this one up, tries to get the flip reset on the ball, but it's still in the corner and it's still dangerous. Lokei's going to take this one out to Morbid as he gets the redirect, pushes it to a teammate, but King Gase Cookie's going to be there for the stop as they're trying to keep pounding this one back in their net, and Win just puts another one on, but seems to get to the side, but Finest is going to be there to clean it up.
Oh,
What a
8-0.
Yes, 8-0. Win gets a great touch to the side, but Finest is there and reads the play.
Well, folks, it's really not unprofessional for me to say this now. With only 46 seconds to go, this looks like it's becoming a one big epic shutout. So you all must be saying, why are you saying epic? Because in Havoc sports history, we have never had a big shutout as what it is now. Okay. The last shutout, I believe that was a long time ago. But this is another this is another epic shutout in the history of Havoc Esports. Good.
Yes, and now the clock's ticking down as the last 30 seconds come. Can Team Lokei still put this one in to give them some momentum as they go into their next series? Morbid almost gets that one in past the defender, but his teammate's going to be there, and oh my, Finest with the great save, but just doesn't seem to get another save after Lokei's going to be right there for the counterattack. They put one, and he gets the save, but 2 is going to be the number as Lokei puts that one in. And what a great... See, this is what they have to do. They just need to read everybody's play, and they have to always be there for the follow-up. If they're there for the follow-up every moment, they can keep pounding this ball in as Team Flu Esports puts one more in to salvage this 10-1.
Absolutely. And I'm okay, so I'm gonna say now this is not a shutout, but they really win that big. Okay. You do see that a lot in Rocket League, you do, unfortunately. But with this big comeback, this big win, that's what you see. They officially won this game. Congratulations to Flu White.
Yes, congratulations Team Flu White Esports. They are off is gonna be underway for Fahrenheit and Lekos, but Fahrenheit's gonna win this one back into the orange corner of Team Lokei's. Midnight Sky is gonna put one in, and Fahrenheit's almost there, but Morbid has a great block. Dangerous spot in front of his net. And Lekos is going to take this one to the side, but he gets pinched out by Midnight, and Morbid's there to get around Midnight. Now he has the ball, and he's going to have some time. He gets around one defender, and Lokei almost has the touch, but just doesn't have the speed as he goes a little too quick and mistouches. But Midnight Sky is going to take this one off the sidewall, gets a touch around one defender, two defenders. Lokei's going to get a pinch with Joe, and now Lokei's going to take this ball, passes it mid. Morbid's going to try to touch this one, does not get the touch, but Midnight's going to be there, puts it out for his teammate. Lokei's going to be there to get the counterattack, but Joe has now possession of the ball. He takes us off the sidewall, misses, gets bumped. Bear Knight's going to try to 50, and now Midnight Sky is going to have this great shot on net, but it's going to be on the backboard as a follow-up by Midnight. Pops it, and Joe's going to be there, and the fourth man, the crossbar, is going to get a great block. Absolutely scary placement for Team Lokei as they're trying to get out of this danger zone, and that one's just going to be in. What a tactical goal by Fahrenheit, wouldn't you say, Steve?
Absolutely. And as what you all see, okay, that was good, what they just did there. Okay, but can they still do it to really win this? Yes, it's 1-0 right now, but we still have a whole 3 minutes left in this quarter, in this match. So take it away.
Definitely, as Cho is going to try to get this one off the back, but Morbid's going to be there for the enforcer, and Lika is going to try to set his teammate up right here, but Midnight's going to be there, and it gets popped around one defender. Morbid's back alone right now. He has to go quick, buys his teammates time with a good 50, and now Joe's going to fake out one defender. Probably has some time on it, but Morbid's going to be there and gets it around him, and now Morbid's going to try to get a retouch, but just gets pinched off by Midnight Sky, and now Lika's on the back corner, misses but leaves it for Lokei as he touches this one, and it's a dangerous ball. Midnight's gonna be there to put this one in right over Morbid, and a mistouch and miscommunication by two people is gonna leave one man last back, and it's not pretty at that moment.
So what I'm going to say here, okay, they're still winning, okay, but the other team has to come out now and try to win it, okay, but will they, I don't know how I'm going to word this for you all, okay, I'm trying, folks, so bear with me now. They got to try to come up with something, okay, and win it. Yes. Not by just throw the ball down, hit the ball down the field. You can't do that. What you need to do is to try to pass it to your teammate, or do something to win it. Because if you do that, you'll be fantastic.
Yes, absolutely. Unfortunate by Likaz as he has a great touch to himself and it waterfalled down, but just couldn't seem to read the ball as it went by him. They could have put this goal lead to 1, but now they have a chance and they're going to get a counterattack right now, but Joe is up and keeps this one dangerous in their corner. Gets a follow-up touch, but now Lokei is going to try to get this one safe in his corner. As he puts it away, Fahrenheit's going to be there. This one's up in the air, but Morbid is there, and Fahrenheit's going to keep this one safe to the side as Lokei's going to get full possession, full boost, pushes out to his teammate, and Lokei's is there. Because with a great, absolutely great read, being there in the middle as these follow-up touches by each teammate is going to be what we need if Team Lokei wants to stay in this game. As there's a minute 30 left, they still have time to come back and win this one, and they're showing now a perfect timing as they almost get a kickoff goal to tie this one up. Fahrenheit's gonna have some time on the ball, but gets met right there by Likaz and puts oh no! Well, they still get the goal, but it's a stolen assist by Likaz. He gets a perfect, well-deserved pass, so I think he deserves that goal on that one.
Absolutely. So now, folks, it's a tie game. Okay. And in this tie game, you got to come up with something and win it. Okay. Or there's another thing I'm going to say. Overtime. You can win in overtime. Okay. Because in overtime, you are able to win that game.
Yes, Yes, absolutely, in overtime, but will it go to overtime with Morbid putting this one in with no defender there as Lokei sets up a great pass and he has the good read, gets it around one defender and puts it right in as they take this lead 3-2. I've seen some great performance on teamwork now with this Team Lokei. They're looking like a new team out there. Morbid, he's going to try to get this one around one defender. He does as Lokei gets a great touch to himself. Gets the boost. Joe's going to be there. Tries to get one out to his teammate. Leekaw's there with the shot, but Midnight Sky is there for the deny. He's going to get around one. Keeps possession. Tries to get a 50. Loses it back to his teammates. Fair Knight's going to be there, but Morbid's going to keep harassing them as Leekaw's puts this one on the back wall, but nobody's there for the touch as it's a close escape right there. And now Joe gets a demo, has it off the sidewall, fakes one. He's going to get a 50 right now, almost into their net. But here's a teammate to follow up. Lokei is going to take this one off the sidewall, takes his ball for a ride, tries to get the 50, almost has the follow-up touch. But now it's going to be a 3v1 in this situation, and Morbid just has to buy enough time as he does, almost puts this one in. And
Yeah,
Fahrenheit
and
now has the ball. He's just going to run down time as it's going to go to 1
Loki.
second left. Do we have an overtime? They have to keep the
No,
ball up. If they keep the ball up, it's possible, but unfortunately,
nope.
they do not. So Team Loki's going to take this win. And what did you see different from this? It's going to be a kickoff against Fahrenheit and Lokei, but Fahrenheit's going to win this one. Morbid keeps this one dangerous over there against Team Fahrenheit. As the ball's missed, he's going to have a counterattack, keeps one to himself, but gets 50'd. And now Leekaw's with the push of a counterattack right there. Great shot. They're just going to keep pounding this ball in. They found their offense, and they're doing a great job on it. As Fahrenheit, he's going to take this one up, but Leekaw's there, ready to meet him on the sidewall, and this one's going to be in the defender's
Go!
net as he gets it over and makes the defender awkward. What a goal by him. Great placement, top corner. Little awkward by Midnight. Tries to get the touch, but doesn't quite seem to get what he wanted. And now Team Lokei's going to take the lead 1-0.
Yeah, so Loki is taking the score 1-0. No, Phil is up 1-0. Okay, not Loki. Okay, so Phil is up 1-0. Phil's doing everything right to win this, but can Loki? It's hold on for a second, folks. Tie game. Okay, now that changes everything. Okay, since it's a tie game, what can you do? You have 4 minutes left in the whole game. Okay, win it. That's what you gotta do. Or if you can't really come up with a win, force it in overtime. Because in
Yes.
overtime, anything can happen. A win. Because in overtime, the time will keep going until somebody scores. So, what will happen here, folks? Go ahead.
Right now, the counterattack, but Team Loki's going to have this one back in their corner as Morbid tries to stall some time. Leekaw's is there. Morbid's going to go up and get a follow-up touch, but Joe's there meeting him with the 50. Fahrenheit now off the back wall. Loki's going to try to get a touch. Doesn't seem to get the quite touch he wanted. Midnight Sky's going to have possession on the ball. Doesn't have any boost, but Joe, his teammate's going to buy some time. Fahrenheit off the sidewall. Gets one more touch. Tries to fake out the defender. It goes behind him, and now Lokei has the ball, tries to put it out center for his teammate, gets it around one. Can he get there in time? No, Fahrenheit will get there in time and get the block. And now Fahrenheit has a touch, gets a follow-up touch, and now leaves it for Joe. Joe's going to be there, takes his ball for a ride. He's going to catch it, but Morbid's there for the save as the lead cause is trying to keep this one in their corner. And now Midnight Sky's tapping around one defender, two defenders. The third defender is there, Lokei. He's going to try to get one more touch. Nobody's in the net. It's in the net. Joe with the goal. Gets the read off the wall. Lokei tried to get one more touch off the wall. Unfortunately, he couldn't get there in time, and Joe just reads this, pinches this one in with no defender in their net. Great performance by Team Fahrenheit as they're picking up in the middle of the match. They lead 2-1.
Absolutely, they do lead 2-1. Now, when you be quiet, Belle. You're fine. Yes, you are. My dog's barking in the background because she hears me talking. Because now, if you can come out and start winning it now, okay, it's fantastic. It's just this, okay. But can you really win it? Can you? We'll see, folks, because anything can happen. Anything can.
Yes,
But
anything can happen. These teams are both two capable teams to win. As right now, Fahrenheit's going to have this ball in the corner, and he gets popped around by Lokei. Morbid's there for the follow-up, but Joe's there for the deny, and it goes up. Likaz is going to try to keep this one and buy his teammates some time as he pops one up to himself, tries to get the follow-up, and he does, but seems to hit the side. Almost has it in the right placement. That could have been dangerous for team excuse me, for Team Fahrenheit. Now Midnight Sky's gonna have some time with the ball as he gets met with Morbid. Now Likaz puts this one to the sidewall as Fahrenheit's gonna be there. He gets demoed by Likaz on his way back. Gets the boost, leaves it for Morbid. Now Morbid's gonna take this one, gets a follow-up, doesn't, gets past them as two defenders up and almost scores. Now Fahrenheit has some time on the other side wall. Morbid's gonna get the ball, pressures it, and Joe there for the 50. Now Midnight Sky pressures it in the corner of Team Fahrenheit. Joe with the
yeah,
deny. Go
they,
ahead.
they did pressure. Okay, so the so okay, they changed it up again on us. Okay, wonderful. So Lurski, okay, like a little mercy on myself. Lurski need it. Hold on for a second, folks. Cut what I just said here. Another tie game. Okay, what can happen in a tie game? Can this team win? Can that team win? Can it be tied? I will. I can tell you, they're gonna come out strong now and try to win this. And that is a goal. Lurski's up 3-2. Take it away.
Yes, spectacular goal by Team Lokei. They put this one in and noticed that the defenders were not ready, and they were panicking a bit as they try to get the 50, but he seems to get the power past Team Fahrenheit. And now it's off the sidewall. Joe tries to get it around Lokei, but he's going to get it around him, and Lokei's going to try to put this one to himself. Gets a follow-up touch to Morbid. Morbid's there, puts this one on net, but Fahrenheit is going to be there for the save. And they almost had another goal lead right there for two, but now Lokei's gonna try to take this one around the defender, right back to Likaz, and he doesn't seem to get the touch. Now Fahrenheit with the sidewall, trying to follow this up, puts it to his teammate, but doesn't get the touch, and now they're on the counter defense, but Joe's gonna there, keep it safe, gets the drop on the ball. Now he has some time on it, tries to get a flick, almost gets it around one defender, and now Likaz with some time. They're just trying to run this clock out. As if it goes down to number one, they will take the game and take this series. So Team Lokei will be your winners.
Yep.
Congratulations to them.
Or do you think that they're going to come straight in here and dominate?
Well, they've had a lot of firepower going into these matches. I've seen some good ball control by them, and they also show great teamwork. We could see further if there is a moment where they are cold, because there's always that curse that you don't want to get into as the other team is warm because they have just constant matches. Right now, Finest, he's going to get a good 50 against JR. Wynn's going to take control of the ball, puts it over to the corner. Now Canoli with control, tries to get around one, but Wynn's going to be there. Pass it to his teammate. Now JR is going to be there, and Finest clearing this one off to the sidewall.
Finest ends up leaving the ball for Wynn. Wynn takes the ball over to the side. Junior looks to try and take possession, but he gets demoed out by Wynn. Now Wynn looks for the flip reset, gets it around one, goes off the backboard. It's going to be cleared away by JR. But now, is he going to be able to do something with this ball? No, he ends up pinching the ball away.
Wynn is going to keep this one safe and near him. Tries to get it around one. He does, but Canoli's going to be there. Gets a touch to himself off the back wall. Does the defender miss? He does, but unfortunately doesn't get the touch himself. Now Finest has to try to gain control of this ball as he gets it hit over him by JR. But now King Gaze Cookies has the ball. Gets blocked by Canoli. Wind is there to keep this one to safety.
JR. So far as he's the highest ranked player in this lobby right now, he barely constitutes as an academy player since he plays at 2C3s. He currently is GC2. However, he has definitely been very solid individual throughout most of this night for Team Canoli. It's the first time we're seeing him on stream for tonight. So it's going to be up to him to make sure he tries to take possession and really take control of the series for tonight. And if he can do that, then he should be able to take his team to a win.
Yes, indeed. I've seen some great control by both teams right now. They're trying to figure each other out, as not trying to step over and overstep as the second and third man, as JR gets a good follow-up touch by his teammate and puts this one, no one's there to follow up, but Wynn's going to keep this one to the side as Canoli tries to put this one back into the corner. Finest is going to have to try to read this ball as he's going to leave it for his teammate, and now Wynn's going to clear this one away from danger, and Wynn has the ball. It's going to go for the demo play, gets it, but unfortunately the other team, JR, is going to almost put this one in their net as Kinge's Cookies there for the save.
Finest ends up going for the ball. Canoli pre-jumps, isn't able to get to the ball. JR will get back to it. But now the ball's going to be back into the hands of King A's Cookie. Puts the ball to the backboard, looks for the double tap, isn't able to connect. But so far we're seeing Flu Esports White actually doing very well in regards to control and pressure. They've definitely been teaming for a long time, and King A's Cookie will actually manage to get the first goal on the board.
Yes, and it's a great touch by him as he doesn't look at the fake from the defender, and I think JR just misplaced on that read, but King A's Cookie was just there and puts this one in as they go up against Blue White Esports 1-0, and now JR keeps this to safety as it almost goes into the net, gets met by Finest in the corner, and Canoli's trying to get this around one defender. He doesn't. Paluzzi's getting around the other, off the sidewall to himself. Now Canoli puts this one in and cleans it up as they tie up the match 1-1.
Look at that 1-2 passing play. Just spiked off the backboard there from Palooza, off of the initial pass by Canoli himself, and then Canoli getting the read off the backboard. This is Academy, and this is Academy mechanics like we've never seen before, and I just cannot wait to see how all these players continue to develop throughout the rest of the season.
So right now they're keeping the counterattacks good as Wynn's going to try to get this awkward touch out and put it to safety, but Finest is going to be trying to put it there, and King A's Cookies keeping this one in as Canoli's going to deny him and keep this in the corner of blue, and now he gets the bump as Wynn's going to try to get a follow-up, does get the touch around one defender. King A's Cookies trying to get the touch to one. Finest is there, puts it in front of him. Can he score for the follow-up? He does get the read and around the defender. What a great placement, as patience does pay off in this one.
Look at this here, exactly as you described it. Patience, that's the name of the game here, especially in Academy. If you're somebody like Finest who's an extremely high-level mechanical player, just maybe needs to learn a little bit more smarts in the game, patience is the key that opens all doors in regards to Rocket League. And as we can see, King A's Cookie, off the pass from Win this time, gets the goal, leading them to a 2-0 lead. To a 2-goal lead.
That's with a minute 30 left in this match. Team Canoli's going to have to try to figure what they're doing wrong right now. They need to put a little bit of pressure and keep the follow-ups good and keep their positioning and their, excuse me, they have to find their control on the ball, but as they do, Paluzzi's going to be there for the follow-up. And this is a good thing to keep the pressure on their back wall, because the other team sometimes could panic, and right now it does pay off as he puts it in the back of their net.
In DDO, minute and a half left on the clock. Flu Esports White are in the lead. And for those guys who do not know, or weren't here when we announced then they did join Havoc. Flu Esports is actually partnering up with Havoc Esports to have their teams participate in our league. So if you guys wonder why we see Flu Esports White compared to team and then the captain name before we pick up callers for the season, it's because we're actually partnered with Flu Esports, and we're going to actually see some of their teams participate in the main league tomorrow. So be sure to tune up for the tournament tomorrow. Starts at 7 p.m. PST, and remember to show up to that tournament and see all the teams play, and we'll actually get to see Lefstick participate in that tournament. Lefstick, what are your opinions on how tomorrow's going to go?
Hey, honestly, I don't know if I'll be able to make the tournament tomorrow, but I'm excited that this organization has collabed with us because it's going to give a lot more diversity in the games that we've seen in the past, and I'm honestly excited to see what all the other teams from different organizations can do against like our teams. And right now, it's a great matchup between the monks themselves as he gets demo trade off. Right now, Win is going to lead this one for Finest. Gets it off the sidewall, is going to look for the follow-up, but gets met there by JR. And now JR is going to try to get a counterattack as he almost fakes out the defender. With the last remaining 10 seconds, can they put this one in? And it's going to be a fake-out play with the follow-up touch. Nobody's there. 1 second on the clock. Tries to keep it up, but can't. And we will go into the first win for Team Blue Esports Finest. What did you see there for that first matchup, Luke?
In regards to that first matchup, right now it's pretty much the patience game. That's what's being played here by both of these teams. Even though we're seeing some underranked players compared to the rest of the lobby in Canoli and Palooza, they obviously have a ton of experience playing against higher level players because they're not panicking whenever they have the ball. They're actually taking their time, and it's giving Junior the space he needs to do what he can do to help out this team. And as we saw, the goals actually came from Canoli and Palooza. So if they can keep taking patience and up and keep taking patience and set up JR, then we might be able to see them take a win. But right now, Flu Esports White, their team play and chemistry is without bounds at this moment in time, and they're going to continue to dominate if they can keep up this form.
Yes, indeed. They both had about an equal amount of shots on goal for each team. So it is a decent matchup right now that we're seeing. So it's nothing in the past, but right now, can Team Canoli figure out what they need to do to overcome this team? This is a best of 5, so we are going to get in this next match as
It's a
the
best of three.
kickoff. Oh, it is best of 3.
All
Okay,
the matches are best of 3.
okay. I thought it was best of 5.
All good, but here we go. Win up into the air. She looks for a shot off the backboard. It's going to be taken away by JR, who's actually switched cars over to the Octane. But it's going to be Flute Esports White keeping possession on the opposite side of the field. Ball's going to get hit off the backboard. Balled up from JR. Wind ends up faking it, giving Finest a free touch, but he ends up hitting it right into the waiting defender. And they actually managed to get an attack on the other side. It's going to be missed off the backboard. Follow up from the offender. Isn't able to get back to it, and King Ace Cookie will spike the ball right back down the field.
And almost a counterplay right there as Win puts this one in, but Palooza's there as Junior's trying to keep this one safe. It's out mid, tries to get the bump, but Canoli gets away and escapes, clears his ball up. Can he get the follow-up touch? Passes it, and they get the pinch in as Palooza is waiting there. Perfect read as a teammate as he gets this one mid for his teammate. Palooza creeping up, waiting for the pass, and he's right there to put it right in.
What an amazing dunk there here in the first minute of game number 2. Just throwing himself at the ball right down the middle of the ball, and he manages to win the 50 over 2 players. Not something that's very easy to do, especially in Academy, but he manages to do it and give his team the lead for the first time in the series.
Yes, and now Finest tries to clear this one out. JR is going to meet the ball in the mid, gets another follow-up touch off the sidewall. Finest going to try to read this one, keeps it in the corner, and now Win's going to take over. He has the ball on top of the car. They're going for demo plays, but he doesn't seem to flick it over the first defender as it's in their corner. It's a little dangerous right now. JR is going to keep this one dangerous for them. Puts it over, gets the 50 by Win, but gets it right over Canoli, and now Finest, he's going to take control as he get a great 50 towards the net, but no one seems there to be there to follow it up.
Indeed. Now back to Win. Win trying to keep some pressure. Looks for the pass back to King Ace Cookie, but JR actually reads it. Passes it down to Canoli. Canoli passes it back down mid to JR, but he isn't able to put it on target. Bluzo looks for the follow-up, but he isn't going to be quick enough, even though there is a double commit there in the back corner. By Flea Sports White, they managed to stave off the pressure and get the ball right back down the field. And that seems to be their game plan at this moment in time. They tend to get possession, clear the ball down the field, and try and chase to try and retain pressure. We're not seeing some higher-level strategies in regards to taking possession from them just yet. But as we see them improve throughout the season, we might be able to see them face off against a main team and show off that they do have the mechanics to do that.
Yeah, this Canoli is met right there by Finest. You are right on that. I haven't seen too much on the pressure or possession taking. They're trying to play this game where if they could just keep the pressure up, hopefully they get a follow-up touch by a teammate, and it's working out so far, but they do need to think on what time and space that they have at some moments and maybe calm up a little bit, as right now it almost goes into their net. Palooza with a great shot. Canoli's going to be there for the follow-up, misses, but now Finest is going to take this one to safety as he puts a counterattack on his hood, tries to get the 50, he does, and pays off as Finest keeps his flip for the 50 and gets the dunk.
Look at the shot here from Finest. As he said, keeps his flip to get the dunk there right at the end. Finest has been showing up here in all the games he's been on stream tonight, and he's been doing it with such youthful vigor. In regards to, we're halfway through the game, doesn't matter that they are down by a goal, he is showing up offense, defense, wherever he needs to be, and it just ends up working out for his team, and he's putting in the effort to show that he deserves to win this game, and he's trying to get them the sweep here in game number 2.
Yes, he is putting on a spectacular form, and he's going 100% right now with a 1 shot, 1 goal, and Team Canoli is going to try to figure out what to do as it's still tied. There's still plenty of time to the game could go any other way. As Win, he has the ball in his hood, tries to get around 1 defender. Canoli is there. It's dangerous possession right now as it goes right over their net, and King Ace Cookie with the clear to the sidewall, but Canoli is going to be there. He's going to try to look for a follow-up touch as Win is going to stall some time for his teammates. Perfect off the sidewall, has another touch, fakes out the last defender. It's going to be a 1v2 and gets the bump, but his teammate just wasn't quite fast enough to the ball.
Now ball back, it popped into the air, and JR is looking to rotate back as quickly as possible. Isn't able to get to the touch. Finest will put the ball off the backboard. Look for the follow-up. It's going to be hit off the crossbar. It's going to be saved away by the 4th man. But here's King Ace Cookie into the air. Looks for the shot down. It's going to be past mid. Canoli is able to get the ball away. It's now be over to Palooza. Palooza gets the 50-50, but ends up setting up Finest. Finest, though, in 0 boost. Looking for a pass mid. Ends up getting out 50 by Canoli. JR into the air. Gets beat out by 2 players, but the ball ends up going safely to the side. Canoli off the backboard. Might set up here a teammate, but no one on his team is ready for it. And Fluey Sports White stave off the aggression, at least for the next moment in time.
As we almost nearing this end of the first match, these teams are trying to figure out what they need to do. It's not trying to overpressure too much. I can see none of them really double committing. Last back man's being really safe. Win the last 30 seconds right now. Finest is going to have a dangerous ball over his head, but King Ace Cookie's there to keep this one safe as Finest going to go for the follow-up touch. Now down into the last 20 seconds. Canoli up, he gets the follow-up touch around 1 defender, but Win is going to be there, puts it into the corner, is going to try to follow this one up, but Palooza's there to keep it safe.
Ball gets pinched out mid over to JR. JR hits the ball off the sidewall, looks for the shot. It's going to be wide, followed from Canoli. It's off the post. They aren't able to get the goal, and it's going to be overtime for the first time in this series.
The stalemate kickoff, but Finest is going to try to beat him, but King Ace Cookie doesn't seem to get the touch. 1 around. JR is going to try to beat 2 defenders. Finest is going to be there, clear this one away. Canoli is going to keep this one back in their corner, and now Wins there. Touches it out, but Palooza is going to be up for the ball. Tries to read it. Gets the counterattack by his teammate, and King Ace Cookie is keeping this one to safety as JR hits this off the sidewall. Goes for a follow-up, but Win is there. He's going to keep it to the side, and now Finest is going to have some time on the ball, but gets 50'd by Canoli.
King Ace Cookie taking possession of his own corner. He has low boost though and ends up giving away the ball slightly, setting up JR. Win will get the clear away. King Ace Cookie actually managed to fake it to give Win some space. Win in the 1v1 opportunity, he isn't able to get the ball mid. Palooza though hits the ball out mid. It's going to set up Finest. Finest looking to win the series. Can't get back to the ball. Now it's going to be setting up Junior. Looks for a pass mid. Ends up setting up Fluey Sports White. Ball's into the air and Palooza will clear the ball back to his own corner.
Now Win with the great 50. If a teammate is there, but JR is there to keep it safe. He pushes that one out. Now Finest has nobody back. Almost gets it around 1. Does get the touch. Canoli keeps it to his corner. Up to the teammate. JR pops this one, but King Ace Cookie's there. Gets a follow-up touch. Gonna touch it one more time for his teammate. Gets the dunk. Palooza's there. JR is clearing this one up. Tries to get a redirect. Almost gets it around both defenders. Close call on the net, but King Ace Cookie's there for the save.
King Ace Cookie looking to take possession. Actually, no, he goes for the pinch, but JR ends up setting up the other team, but Canoli's faster. Something surprising is coming up for one of the lower ranked players in this lobby. He's not too low ranked compared to the rest, but he definitely is not as experienced as the rest of the players in this lobby, but he still manages to get the beat. That's something we do have to notice here, is that even though Team Canoli is not as experienced as Flu Esports White, they are still executing their game plan to near perfection, and it might allow them to get a game win here.
Right now, they're going to have a good counterattack as Canoli almost gets 50 into his net, but JR is going to keep on this ball as Finest is going to get a good 50, and now Canoli's going to keep this one to safety and clears this one away. But King Ace Cookie's there, right back at him. Wind on the sidewall pushes this one to the wall, excuse me. Now Canoli's going to have a little time, a little room, and a little space. Can he do it? And he puts this one in past Team Flu Esports White, as there was a one-on-one and King Ace Cookies left. Doesn't seem to get the touch, misreads, puts that one in, game off. Congratulations to Team as the face-off is gonna be Canoli and Wind. Canoli wins it. Junior's gonna try to get this one past Finest, gets a great pinch as Pelosi's gonna try to keep this one on, and King Ace Cookie's there for the save. Wynn's gonna clear this one out, try to give his teammates some time as Finest is gonna read this off the backboard. And now King Ace Cookie gets a whiff, and here comes a shot on net. Finest is gonna be there for the save.
Ball's gonna get popped up to the backboard. They aren't able to get back to the ball. It's gonna be over to Canoli. Canoli off to the side wall. JR keeps the ball on offense, but Finest is gonna try to clear the ball down the field. Finest looking to chase up the ball. Canoli with the whiff allows Finest to push the ball up the field even further, but Palooza will take possession, gets past two in a 1v1, but this time Win does manage to get back to the ball. King Ace Cookie passes the ball down the field. Win has a chance here to put it mid. Win sets it up here for King Ace Cookie. They end up double committing the ball, gets launched off the backboard. Luckily for them, Finest is back and prepared, gets the 50-50 win, trying to keep the ball on the offensive side of the field. Back to Win. Win looks for the shot. It's going to be wide. It's going to be saved away by King Ace Cookie. Finest into the air. Gets cleared away by Canoli. Over to Win. Win launches the ball down the field once more over to JR. JR isn't able to get back to it. It's going to be back over to Finest. Finest taking possession, looks at the flick over one, gets it over two, ends up getting saved away, but once again by Palooza.
Yeah, we're seeing some great defense right now from as the caster curse comes in. Team Flu Esports White puts this one in as Palooza tries to dodge the demo, and I think he cannot get back down in time as that one's going to just be put right in over his head. And Team Flu White Esports is going to take this one 1-0 as the second kickoff gets underway. King Ace Cookie tries to read this one off the sidewall. It's just going to meet over him. He can't read it that fast as JR puts this one in the middle for his teammate, and no one's there for the save. Palooza's waiting, and a great passing play decision as he gets one touch off the corner and follows it up middle. Palooza's just sitting right there waiting to be hand-fed.
Oh my goodness, look at this aggression, look at this team play from Team Canoli. Team Flu Esports White, we saw some great aggression from them. They're a very fast team, but now that they're playing against a team that can take possession and string together passes like that, like, what can they do to stop it, Lefston?
So the only thing that I feel like they haven't done and tried yet, well, as they score right now, they need to take a little bit more possession and time on the ball when they need to realize when that is happening, because most of the time they're playing a lot of boomer ball, and yes, it has helped their offense so far in this game, but as we see, Team Canoli is a team you don't want to mess around with as they're smart and they have the teamwork that we've seen that they're might come out on top if it keeps up.
In DDO, ball's going to get launched up and forward over to King Ace Cookie. King Ace Cookie looking for the double off the corner, sets up Finest. Finest ends up getting beat to the ball this time, but Wendell passed the ball back to Finest. Was looking for the redirect, almost gets back to the ball, isn't able to quite do so though. And it's going to be back over to Palooza. Palooza's into the air, gets 50-50, it's going to be back to Win. Win launches the ball off the backboard, but Canoli will try to clear the ball away. But it's going to land in the hands of Finest. Finest trying to take possession on his backboard. Looks like they're not clearing the ball this way this time, but they ended up double committing, which just gives the ball right back into the hands of Team Canoli.
JR is going to try to get the follow-up, but King Ace Cookie does manage to keep this to the sidewall as Finest is going to pop this one up for somebody. Canoli's going to be there, but he's going to leave it for Wind, and now Wind off the back wall might get the follow-up touch, but goes for the demo, unfortunately gets a miss. And now King Ace Cookie has a little bit of time, but he wants to buy his teammates time so they can get back and get their boost. And now Canoli is going to fire up a 50, gets a dunk, and now JR is up. They both whiff, and now Wind has some time on the ball, tries to get the flick, but one defender is there for the save.
Ball, 2 minutes left, 2-1 still the scoreline. Flute Esports, all they have to do is maintain this lead in order to get the win here. Everybody in chat, who do you guys want to win? We got some Flute Esports fans in chat, or do we got some Team Canoli fans in chat? After seeing all these passing plays and solo plays from Team Canoli, honestly, there might be a lot more fans than you'd expect.
Yeah, indeed, as Wind's going to have a counter attack right now. And a great shot, but it's a little off the sidewall. And now Canoli's going to be there for the save as King Ace Cookie keeps it in their corner, tries to get the follow-up touch, but now it's dangerous out in the middle as Wind gets it around one defender. King Ace Cookie doesn't get the touch he wants, but Palooza's going to push this one to their corner. King Ace Cookie's going to keep it safe and push this one forward as Canoli meets him, tries to get a follow-up touch. Everyone's getting demoed. He has nobody to help for the follow-up, and King Ace Cookie has so much space right now. Gets it around one defender. JR is up and ready as Finest pinches his one back into the corner. Canoli's going to have to try to keep it safe, and he gets a follow-up. Wind's going to be there, and nobody in the back net as this ball's bouncing left and right off the corner post, and they just get out of safety right there. That was a close call.
Left Stick knows more than anyone how sad it is to hit both posts and crossbars at the same in the same shot, but they just aren't able to get back to the ball. And now with 30 seconds left on the clock, Flea Sports just have to hold it on for 30 seconds more to maintain the lead, and Caster Curse helps them out. 2-2 the scoreline. The game is now tied.
Yes, JR has this spectacular flip reset over one defender, and it does manage to get around all of them as Palooza's just going to lock this one in the back of their net. And right now, Team Flute White Esports is going to have to figure out if they're just panicking right now and don't have any more momentum, but Palooza almost gets the follow-up touch right now. We have 15 seconds left, and JR is going to keep their momentum as they keep plundering the ball towards blue side, but now Palooza is going to have to work with their time as he misses the read, but JR for the, what a save. Can't believe that awkward touch by him, but he's there to defend it. Now we're going into overtime, and what have you seen so far in this match?
Honestly, we've just seen a back and forth battle. JR actually managed to get a touch, but Wind has an empty net. He hits it off the backboard. Ball from King Ace Cookie. It's off the post. They had a chance to win it there, folks, and they weren't able to do so. Palooza taking possession now. Going to pop the ball up. King Ace Cookie has a chance to win it all, but JR managed to get back just in the nick of time. 30 seconds left on the clock. This game could be won by anybody.
As Finest hits this over Canoli. Palooza's got some time on the ball right now. He manages to get it away from him, but JR is there, going for the follow-up. Two defenders up, nobody back. As Finest pops this one up, it's going to be off the side, but JR is going to take control right now. It was a close call for them as three members of Canoli team were past the half-field mark, and right now there's nobody back. Gets the bad read, and Finest just manages to sneak this one in as they take... What game are we in?
They managed to take the final game of the series. That's going to be the Finest with the hat trick to win the series right there. Finest solidifies Flute Esports White in at least the top 2 seeding for the first team, Canoli and Team Savage. Who's going to come out here with the win, Left Stick? What do you think?
Well, I can't speak on Savage so much, but what I've seen with Canoli so far, great teamwork. They keep the possession. They don't fall under pressure too much. And Savage right now, he's going to take this one back to his corner as Gibbous takes it away and tries to get a 50. And now Palooza going up for the read, but leaves it for Canoli. And so far, they have a good understanding of what each other's going to do as they're leaving the ball for each other. And Team Savage has to get away from the danger zone right now with the ball hovering over their net.
Ball's going to get launched on target, though, and Canoli will get the first goal on the board. Let's look at this once more. Canoli pops it off the backboard, gets past 2 players, and then tries to fly up and get the touch, but he just isn't able to get back to it. And Team Canoli will get the first goal on the board.
See, now the second kickoff is underway. Canoli versus Savage. And now JR is going to go for the follow-up. Ball's in the middle. Palooza's going to look for a touch to himself. Gets it around both defenders and shows his spectacular timing and 1v1 skills as he gets a great touch to himself, sets himself up, pops it up, and gets it around both defenders waiting back there in the net.
Indeed, that's going to be an amazing goal. Already up by 2 here, only in the first minute. Team Canoli, they've already played Team Savage earlier in this bracket, and they managed to win in a sweep. So they're going to definitely be trying to redo what they managed to do earlier on in the winners bracket. But now it's going to be up to Team Savage to try and get some revenge and get a win against this team.
Yes, both teams looking for revenge right now as Canoli wants to take this win so they can have their rematch against Blue Esports White, but now not so supersonic. Legend gets a follow-up touch, and he's gonna deny this as they try to make this lead a little shorter by only 1 goal. There's only a minute has gone by and already 3 goals have been scored. What have you seen so far between these two teams as we keep watching this game further goes on?
Indeedy. Now it's going to be up to Team Savage to try and get back to it. Givus looking for a flicks it up high. It's going to be saved away by Junior, but the ball's going to get popped up. Canoli will try to clear the ball away. Ends up going right back into the hands of Legend. Legend looks at the ball, hits the ball off the backboard. Savage looking for the follow-up, isn't able to get the ball on target, but now it's going to pop back up to Savage. Savage looks for a pre-flip, just isn't able to get back to the ball. It's going to be cleared away once again by JR.
Legend's gonna have to take this one around as Canoli's gonna keep this one dangerous. Tries to get a follow-up touch. Nobody's there for the save, but Kibis is there in time. And oh my, JR is gonna put this one back in as we see a remarkable save by Kibis, but it's gonna touch the side of the goal and keep it still dangerous as Junior's gonna be able to get that read.
Junior is definitely somebody we haven't seen step up yet on stream. We've seen it come out of Canoli. We've seen it come out of Palooza's. But we haven't seen JR step up just yet, even though he is the highest ranked player in this lobby. So if we can see him step up, then his team might be able to do much more than just win a game or two.
Yes, as Canoli's going to try to get the read over the team. Legend's going to take this one off the corner, but Canoli's up there waiting as JR is going to get a follow-up touch off the backboard. Canoli to put this one in, but Savage is there for the save. What a great save by Savage, and Legend's going to have to keep this one to the corner as Givus gets it around 1 defender. And now Legend's going to pop this one middle, but Canoli's there to meet him with the follow-up touch, and that goal is in.
Oh my goodness, what a good goal. Just seeing these touches time after time, just setting up Canoli perfectly for a touch on target. That's all they're doing right now. They're just setting each other up just to put it on target, and it's working. Sometimes at these lower level ranks compared to what you may be used to when you're watching Rocket League, all you have to do is just put it on target and it goes in the net.
Yes, these teams are doing a great job, especially Canoli with setting up teammates as they keep this pressure underway on Team Savage, and they can't seem to find the answers as Palooza is going to pop this one up to his teammate, but Legend's going to be there to meet JR as Palooza with the great read. Shot on net, nobody back there to defend it. JR was trying to get over, but Legend was trying to beat him and accidentally touches it to the ceiling to meet Palooza, the counterattack team, as nobody's back there to save that one.
2 minutes left on the clock and it's already 5-1. Team Canoli are trying to keep themselves warm to try and retake on Blue Esports White in that grand final. Blue Esports White, they have nothing to worry about. They've at least secured top 2. They're, no matter what, they've got the easy bracket. Now just to see if they have the easiest bracket possible going into the first week of League Play. For those of you guys who do not know the format, Academy every single Friday will be doing a style similar to what happened in the Grid Fall Split, where there's going to be a double elimination tournament every single Friday, and based on how you place, it will determine on how many points you get by the end of the season, by the end of the first split. The top 2 teams with points will end up going to the promotion relegation tournament, where they'll face off against the bottom 2 teams of the main league to see who is going to promote back into the main league and who will drop back down. However, let's get back in the game. Still 5-1 with a minute and a half remaining. This time, Team Canoli is not able to score a goal, and Team Savage looking to try and come back in this game.
As Team Canoli hits this one to the sidewall, he's going to set up his teammate. He's going for the bump play. Gibby gets an early jump but JR is there, met with a great 50. Look at the patience that this team has. He hits it around one. He knows that he has one defender left, and if he could be a menace enough to at least make him jump, he knows his team has the advantage, and they did have a great 50 in the back of their net. And now this next kickoff, as these games go underway, we have only a minute left, and Canoli's leading 6-1 right now, possibly a 7th, and it is.
There we go. We got the Brazil. Still a minute left in this game. Team Canoli is trying to keep themselves as warm as possible. They're focused. They're ready. They want to come back into the grand final and demolish Flui Sports White. Lipstick, if you were Flui Sports White watching this game, what would be your thoughts right now?
Well, if I'm watching this game as I'm the team waiting to play this team, we have to figure out what they're doing differently against this Team Savage right now, because we didn't see this team play against Flu Esports. This is a whole nother team right now. They're absolutely dominating on every aspect of their game. Defense, offense, counterattacks, placement, positioning. They have really good possession at times and very good teamwork as they keep plundering this ball in the back of the net of Team Savage.
That is exactly right. And here we go. Savage might have a chance here, but nobody on his team was there for the follow-up. Legend, though, gets the follow. Playing on the new Rogue decal. Actually a very clean, smooth decal compared to some other ones. But now it's going to be back over down to Canoli. Canoli leaves it for JR. JR back into the air, looks at the pinch across. Over back now to Gibbous. Gibbous has an empty net to shoot at, gets another goal, and Gibbous will bring the game back within 5, but I feel like now it's a little too late in order to get this win.
Yeah, hopefully they can just take this goal into the momentum for the next game, clear their minds, keep this momentum pushing into the next game, because you don't want to keep down in your spirits. You need to get every aspect and ounce of energy you need and thoughts on the next one. So they're just going to have to regather themselves and figure out what they need to do differently so they can keep their spirits up and possibly go in and keep themselves into the series. Outstanding, spectacular kickoff underway. Savage is going to win this one back to the corner, but Canoli's going to be there. Trying to get the read on the follow-up. Doesn't quite get the touch. Legend's going to clear this one away. Gets it around 1, excuse me. Palooza does 50 that, and now JR is going to wait for the ball. Gets a touch. Goes for the follow-up. He's going to take this ball for a ride, but gets 50 by Savage, met out in the mid.
JR taking possession now in his back corner. Misses his own back corner boost, but he did have enough boost to get a second touch on it. Ends up balling his own teammate though. Savage are going to be looking for a clear. Ends up passing the ball out mid over to Canoli. Canoli taking possession here with low boost. Ends up gets the ball past 1. Can't get it past a second. Now it's going to be over to Palooza. Palooza looks for the shot. Legend has the chance to make a save, but ends up own goaling. And that's going to be goal number 1 going to Team Canoli.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a bit of miscommunication right here, as I think Savage might have had the save, but teammate not respecting anybody's call out, but who knows if they were calling that one out. That's a very dangerous spot to be, and it's awkward for both teammates. But right now, Gibbous is going to have this one off the sidewall, tries to get one to himself, but Canoli's going to be there. And now Canoli in the corner, tries to get one more touch, but does not get it around Legend. He's going to keep pushing this one with no boost, but JR's going to try to pop this one over. Gibbous is there to meet him as he gets another 50, and the ball's in front of the net. JR's there to clear it to the sidewall. Gibbous with the demo, ball in the air, ball on the ground. JR with the ball clears, and right now they're just trying to gather themselves and figure out what they need to do, as Canoli is just keep on plundering these shots on net, and Savage just needs to find the answer if they want to turn this win around.
Canoli, we started off tonight with thinking, hey, JR is going to be the carry, but the striking ability of Canoli, oh my goodness, this is what we like to see. And seeing the striking ability out of an academy player, this is stuff we don't even see out of like low tier main league teams. And if Canoli's able to get to the promotion relegation tournament and play against those main league teams, the main league teams will have something to fear if they go down to that promotion relegation tournament.
Yes, indeed. Canoli's definitely showing a quite good performance on shots on net, as he's pretty accurate right now with you know, he's going 50%, 2-1. Canoli's going to take this off the corner, setting up his teammate. Palooza is there, but doesn't get the touch on net. Now Savage with a little time flicks around one to his teammate. Gibbous is there. Nobody in the net right now. Team Canoli trying to get back. Savage pushes out mid, but Canoli's there for the 50 as Gibbous pops this one up to himself. Gets it around one defender, tries to put it on the back wall for the deep, oh my. And what a great performance by a pass, but the teammate just was not able to put that powerful shot on net.
Junior taking the ball now in his back corner once again. Clears the ball past one, doesn't have the boost to follow, and Savage will clear right back over to Legend. Legend has the boost, doesn't have the mechanics to get the touch, but the ball's now going to be back over to Canoli. Canoli looks for a shot on target, saved away by Gibbous at the final seconds before the ball went into the back of the net, and now it's going to be over to Gibbous once more to try and maintain possession. Savage back to the ball. Gibbous retrying to take possession. Isn't able to do so, but Team Savage with the pinch from Savage manages to clear the ball right back to the other side of the field.
Team Savage right now has to figure out who is going to step up for their team as this clock ticks down. They need to get a win right here if they want to stay high in the seeding. Ball's dangerous right now. JR is going to pop over one, gets the touch, back wall. Palooza's going to be there, keeping it in the corner, but now Canoli's going to set himself up, gets a good touch, but it ends up going backwards to their team. They're just going to catch it, buy some time for each other, and they just want to keep some possession right now as the clock's ticking. They are up in the lead still by one, but Gibbous manages to put this one around all the defenders as they seem to accidentally touch this off the corner, and he is there for the read. So they're only down one goal right now. And how do you see them overcoming this obstacle right now?
Right now, Team Canoli just has to keep their composure. If they can keep their comms going, keep their composure, and just stick to their game plan, they should be able to still take out the win. It's not necessarily the fact that Team Savage are adapting and playing a better playstyle at the moment. It honestly looks like they're playing the same. It just needs to be Team Canoli to stop trying to do too much and just start putting shots back on target, which was working last time.
Yes, indeed. They are playing a little bit different than before, but right now they do have the lead. They have some leeway. Canoli's going to take this one up for a ride, but Gibbous is there to meet him. And now Palooza's with the ball off the corner to the sidewall. He's going to try to get a follow-up, but Legend's there to clear this one away. JR has some time with the ball, but Legend's there to clear it to the side. And now Canoli gets a 50 up for his teammate. Palooza's met there with Gibby. They both miss. Ball's in the middle. And now JR has some time with the ball, and he's going to take this one up. Tries to get a flip reset. Manages to get it out to a teammate, but Team Savage has great possession right now.
Back over to JR. JR clears the ball forward over to Palooza's. Back to Savage. Savage tries to clear the ball forward over to Canoli. Canoli gets a touch out mid, but Savage keeps the ball on offense. 30 seconds left. Team Savage still have an opportunity to take this to OT, but Junior looks at the shot. It's going to be saved away by Gibbous once more, and the ball's going to be back over to Savage in the waning seconds of regulation. Back now over to Savage once he gets the ball back into the midfield. JR down to Canoli with the pre-flip shot. Can't get the goal. Legend gets the 50-50. Gibbous has an empty net, but he has no boost, and he isn't able to take the shot. Gibbous now has boost, but Palooza's will clear the ball away, and Canoli are going to go back into a rematch against Team Flu Esports White. Canoli are the only team to have taken a win off of Flu Esports tonight, and let's see if they can do it again. Flu Esports White managed to hop in their call here for a second. They've been doing replay reviews the whole time, and of course Team Canoli, they got the advantage of being warm. So you have to wonder, is the advantage of being warm going to help them out get the win, or is the replay review going to end up getting the win for them? Everybody, let's get right into this game here. Canoli taking possession down the field, looks for the 50-50, looks it back to Palooza. Palooza centers the ball for Junior. It's going to be hit. Oh, it's on target, but saved away by King Ace Cookie. Back over to Palooza. It's back to Canoli. Canoli trying to take possession here in the back corner. Isn't able to do so, and Wind will clear the ball down the field. Off the backboard, King Ace Cookie looks for the clear, but the ball has not left the offensive side of the field for Team Canoli just yet. Finest, he was the one who won the first series for Flu Esports White. Manages to get the ball past one, getting a double flip reset setup, but the ball's going to get popped to the backboard once more, and Flu Esports White, even though still 0-0, have not left their half here. Palooza looking for the shot. It's going to be saved away. Canoli looks for the follow-up, and Finest will now be able to maintain possession. Canoli looks for the bump, gets the bump on one, looks for a pass out mid, but King Ace Cookie's ready for the pass. King Ace looking for the follow-up, takes a long shot. This is the first time the ball's been on the offensive side of the field all game for Flu Esports White, and Wind will look for the shot, and it's in their first opportunity on offense, and they managed to get the goal. This is what we like to see out of Flu Esports White. They've managed to fix their defensive problems from game number 1, but now it's going to be up to them to try and maintain this lead here with their strong defense off their one shot. Looks like we got some people cheering in chat here for Team Canoli, but we also got a new copy pasta. Spam this goo to help out Flu. Flu Esports got some of their fans in here as well. Everybody, thank you guys so much for turning up the stream. As owner of Havoc Esports, it's been amazing seeing all you guys participate in chat tonight. If you guys saw me earlier in the earlier matches, I was talking in the Twitch chat as well. It's just amazing to see all you guys here for Academy. We started doing an Academy League last season. We had Academy teams in previous seasons, but they ended up getting 10-0'd by some of the main league teams. But this is the second season now we're having Academy members, and we already have 30+ people consistently watching. That's just amazing to see, and I hope to see you guys all throughout the entire season, just supporting your favorite players, supporting your friends, just to see how well they can continue to improve as they try to make it to that main league. But now King Ace Cookie with the follow-up will put the ball in the back of the net. 2-0 lead for Flu Esports White with 3 minutes left in the game, and we're finally starting to see some offensive pressure for Flu Esports White. It looks like Team Canoli just didn't know what to do. They couldn't get the ball in the back of the net, and now they've lost that playstyle that has allowed them to be so dominant, giving them the 2-0 lead. Looks like Mermaid Dance wants Canoli. Who doesn't want Canoli? But now the ball's going to get back over to Wind. Wind centers the ball forward. Finest ends up faking it, but no one on his team is there for the follow-up. King Ace Cookie looking to hit the ball over into the corner. Looking for the follow-up. Isn't able to get back to it. Back to Finest. Finest can't get back to the ball. It's going to be shot on target. And Junior will get the first goal on the board for Team Canoli. Junior's the one who he thought would step up for his team back in the winners finals. And he started to step back up in the losers final. So now in the grand finals, is he going to step up enough to get this win for his team? Or is Team Flu Esports going to try and get the sweep here and solidify themselves as the top team currently in the Academy League? King Ace Cookie looks for the pinch forward back to JR. King Ace Cookie gets the ball past one with an amazing 50-50, puts the ball in the back of the net. King Ace Cookie will get his second goal on the board, and here we go. He's starting to lead his team here in stats just to get him the goal, just to get this team the win. It looks like Finest is on 24 points right now, getting hard carried by Wind and King Ace Cookie. You have to wonder what's going on in Finest's mind. If he just likes getting carried, that's what we like to see, but you have to hope it doesn't affect his mentality going into the rest of the series. Canoli launches the ball down the field over to Wind. Wind back to Canoli. Canoli passes it back over to JR. JR looks for the ball past Finest, but Finest does manage to get one touch past one. He almost gets it past two, but now JR is going to be tasked with clearing the ball from one side of the field to the other. Free flip off the back wall. Double commits with Canoli. Ball's going to be backed over to the corner. JR leaves the ball. Now he's going to be looking to try and pinch the ball forward over to Palooza. Isn't able to get back to it. Gets the bump. Palooza looks for the shot, but Wind will clear the ball down the field. Canoli keeps the ball on offense. Looking for the follow-up. Can he get a touch mid? He does. Over to JR, and that's the goal we like to see. The team passing plays are back, and they managed to get the game back within one. It's right here, right over to JR. It's cleared right into the top part of the net. That is what we like to see. 3-2 the scoreline, but Flu Esports White still with the lead as we try and see how the rest of this series is going to go. Finest gets the ball past one. JR tries to pass the ball mid. Back to King Ace Cookie. Gets the 50-50. Now back over to Wind. Wind launches the ball forward. Isn't able to get back to it. It's going to be now over to Finest. Finest with the 50-50. Clears the ball forward. Ball's going to bounce awkwardly in front of the empty net, but JR and Blues managed to take control of the ball. Ball back to the midfield. JR getting the ball past one. Looking to try and get it past all three. Looks for the Doomsy dish. Isn't able to get there. And King Ace Cookie will keep the ball in the corner. King Ace, though, had 0 boost. Ball's going to get 50'd out mid once more, and Wind will clear the ball. Back over to Finest. Finest tries to get the ball past one. Actually, sets up a pass to Wind. Now back over to King Ace Cookie. Looks for the follow-up. Looking for possession. Gets the 50-50. Tries to set it up. Gets all three players to jump. Wind looks for the shot. That's a 2-goal lead, and Flu Esports once again take the lead. Excuse me, they had already taken the lead. They take once again the 2-goal lead here against Team Canoli. And remember, everybody, our seeding tournament actually also determines what order the teams can choose their color name. So for example, Team Flu Esports White, they're their own team joining from Flu Esports Partnership. However, Team Canoli, Team Savage, Team Kdog, all these different teams, based on how they played tonight, based on how well they played tonight, determines what their seeding is, of course, but also determines what order they can pick their team color. So if they wanted to pick their favorite team color, they had to do well in this tournament in order to do so. But now, back over to King Ace Cookie, isn't able to get back to it. Over to Canoli. Canoli looking for the shot, followed up from JR, is going to be saved away. Back to Palooza's off the back wall. We're going to be followed up here by Wind. Wind, though, ends up tapping the ball away from King Ace, who has 0 boost. And it's going to be one last chance here for Team Canoli. Ball's going to be shot. It's going to be on target. Junior has woken up. Canoli with the playmaker. Junior with the hat trick. That's what we like to see. And Team Canoli have a chance here in the waning seconds of this game. Everybody in chat, I hope you guys predicted right. Who do you guys think is going to win? Everybody in chat, Lana, here right now. Flu Esports or Team Canoli? Who's going to get this game 1 victory? 11 seconds left. It looks like Flu Esports are going to get the win. Or can Palooza set up the goal here? King Ace gets the save. He ended up getting balled in the end of the previous series and led to his team losing game number 2 in the OT. But this time he manages to clutch it up. Ball still in the air. Ball touches the ground. Flu Esports White managed to get the first. Canoli with the playmaker, but it wasn't enough to get the win. Back over to Wind. Wind, looking off the ceiling, ends up not being able to get a touch on the ball, and JR will clear the ball down the field. King Ace Cookie looks for the follow-up, isn't able to get back to it, over to JR. JR back to Canoli. Canoli off the backboard, looks for the follow-up, and King Ace will clear the ball down the field. We're seeing a lot more possession from Flu Esports White compared to the last time we've seen them on stream. And you have to wonder if that had to be done with their coach, Jakey's, managing to get some coaching in, helping them with the replay review, now taking possession. But it looks like they might be reverting back to that boomer playstyle, whether it be subconscious or not, and it's starting to give Canoli just a little bit more time on the ball. Ball gonna launch the ball forward over to King Ace Cookie. Looking for possession, clears the ball down the field. JR looking to clear the ball across and maintain possession, isn't able to do so. JR flicks the ball forward, back to Wind. Wind has an empty net here, but he doesn't have the boost to get around it. Wind now has boost, looks for the pass mid, sets up Finest, but JR is going to be first one to the ball and clears the ball right back down the field. Oh my goodness, that came right out of the corner of my eye. Finest managed to get the first goal on the board. He went from barely having any points at the beginning of game number 1 to being the one with the only goal in the game here early on in game number 2. However, everybody who is a fan of Team Canoli, do not wane your feelings just yet. This is the scoreline that initially began game number 2 in the last series, and Team Canoli managed to win game number 2. Ball's going to get launched forward. Finest looking for possession, clears the ball off the backboard. Follow up here, but JR will get back to the ball. Finest looking for possession, clears the ball off the backboard, and is going to be looking for a follow. Isn't able to do so. Be over to King Ace Cookie. Finest has another chance to shoot on target, but it's going to be off the crossbar, and it's going to be up to Wind off the back pass from King Ace Cookie to get back to it. But the ball bounces out nicely for Team Canoli, and who else but Canoli will get the goal. Let's look here in the chat. Looks like we got Canoli fans. Spam this view to help out Flu. I only want Canoli. Let's go, boys. Team Canoli. Win solos, indeed. Flu. Not because they beat you guys, but because they seem to be the better team. Nice, nice. Flu's the better gamers. Canoli goes hard, but Flu White is built different. Yeah, we got a lot of fans for both teams right now. Ball's going to get launched out to the backboard. Canoli looks for the follow-up, ends up almost own-goaling, and sets up a pass here for his other team. But then everybody on the field triple committed, I believe, except Wind. Wind is the only person who didn't go up for that ball. We had a quintuple commit. But now, ball's going to be back to Finest. Finest off the backboard. Finest looking for the setup, ends up giving the ball right to Canoli, but Canoli gives it right back to him. Finest really popping off here after game number 1. JR into the air, runs out of boost, looks for the pass mid, isn't able to get back to it. It's going to be over to Wind once more. Wind tries to fake it, sets up King Ace Cookie. It's in the back of the net, and that's going to be a goal lead. This is what we like to see out of Flu Esports White as they try to complete the sweep. Half the game left to go in what could be the final game of the tournament tonight. Remember, everybody, our weekend is not over yet. We still have tomorrow. In case Flu Esports does win this right now, we still have tomorrow in the main league seeding tournament. Be sure to turn up for that lot higher level gameplay all the way up to SSL, so be sure to turn up for that. But now, 2 minutes left on the clock. Ball's going to get cleared away once more. Back over to Palooza. Has a chance to put it on target. It's going to be off and wide, and Wind will have time to take possession down the field. King Ace Cookie trying to lead the charge. Led the charge in the past game, but now it's going to be over to Finest. Finest looking like he's trying to step up and carry his team here to a sweet victory. Ball back to Canoli. Canoli ends up centering it for Wind off the backboard, and it's going to be saved away once more. Back to JR. JR over to Wind. Back to Finest. And now Finest has a chance for a shot here. Passes the ball mid instead. Sets up King Ace Cookie. And that's what we like to see. 2-goal lead for Flu Esports White. Oh my goodness. Look at this right now. Finest has a chance to shoot. Passes it mid instead. And that's what we came here to watch, everybody. This is Rocket League at its finest. 3-1. Flu Esports White showing that you don't have to be pro to have some enjoyment watching this game. They are showing up, and they are doing much for this team here. Ball back over to Finest. Finest taking possession. Looks for the pinch down and forward. Back over to JR. JR clears the ball. Back over to Wind. Wind taking possession into the back corner. Tries to pass it out mid, but Canoli will take possession. 3-1 victory here could be possible for Flu Esports White, but JR looks for the shot from the post, from the top of the goal box, isn't able to get that on target. Now with a minute left on the clock, Wind looks to be wasting down the clock. Minute left on left in the game, 1 minute left. Right now, it has shown up on their screens. Canoli gets the pass mid over to Palooza, as Palooza ends up being sideways to the ball, looking for the follow-up. Back to Wind. King Ace Cookie into the air, looking for the follow-up, isn't able to get the follow-up, and it's going to be another chance for Team Canoli. Back over to Finest. Finest looks for the long shot. Back to Palooza's. Isn't able to get there, but now he's going to take possession in his own corner. King Ace Cookies looks for the pre-jump, ends up setting up a perfect touch for Wind. Ace into the air once more, isn't able to get back to it. And now JR will try to clear the ball down the field. 30 seconds left from a Flu Esports White win. Now back over to Canoli. Pops the ball up. 20 seconds left on the clock, but Ace is in the air. Pinches it with Wind. Almost goes into the back of the net. But JR in a chance here. 1v1. Flicks it over. Chance here for JR. Saved away by King Ace. 10 seconds left on the clock. They have to score right now. Ball's on target. Saved away by Finest. 5 seconds left on the clock. Canoli looks for one final chance, and it's going to be off the crossbar. Flu Esports Whites are your Academy Seeding Tournament champion.
Is it really dumb, dog? Is that how you found love? Found love. I wanna find my own love. Yeah, why does life seem so short but so long at the same time? Feel like I hate it, feel like I love it, I cannot pick mine. It's out of my mind, it's out of my mind. I don't know how to describe all the ways that I'm feeling.